Hi, this is Cece with Going Solo, and you are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. And today I have with me a super guest. It is Sindy King, and she is the sexy scientist. Welcome aboard.
Thank you for having me on your show. I'm so excited to be talking to you today.
Oh, it's so wonderful to have you. So tell us, how on earth did you get the name of being the sexy scientist?
Well, what's really interesting and fun was that I practically am a fitness instructor, and I actually teach pole dancing in a pole dancing studio. So first off, I started learning how to turn on your sexiness through your body.
Oh, okay.
And the scientist part is me as a nerdy. I love science very much, and that's what I study in psychology and science. So I used to be a forensic accountant, and that's where the science comes in. So we merge all two big, career of mine, and that's what I got, the sexy love scientist. And love is obviously about the relationship part.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you're a very smart lady, and so that is, it's great to be able to bring it all forward, because you're combining with your knowledge of health and wellness, along with just being smart, in dating. And also, we talked a little bit about the alpha female. So let's go into that a little bit more, because we had a private conversation about that, and that totally intrigued me. Dating the alpha female, what is that like?
Well, dating an alpha female is all about being on top and being corporate, being very masculine. And there's nothing wrong with masculine women, but I find that a lot of masculine women per se gets a lot of complaint like, I don't want to be dating Peter Pan. And what Peter Pan is actually a man who is actually still a little boy who wants to play and never wants to grow up and never wants to take responsibility. And that's the biggest thing is to take away. And they don't want those type of men. They actually, like a lot of alpha women do want an alpha man as well. So what surprisingly I have learned is a certain energy. So within my study in the period of time that I study about the masculine and feminine energy, and that's from Carl Jung. And what he says, we all carry certain energy. So how we speak is a certain energy that we attract. So if you sound very masculine means speaking first in a date or picking up anybody. That's very masculine. So I actually teach alpha women not to speak first and not to do an interview.
I wonder if I do that. I bet I do that.
So the first thing an alpha woman would do is they go come up to a man and be like, hey, how are you? I really like your suit and tie. And I was like, that's masculine, right? So that's interviewing. When you're interviewing, that's masculine. So being feminine, meaning passive, patient, and vulnerable. So that means you can smile at them, you can wiggle their finger and be like, hey, come over here, kind of thing, without saying anything. I just teach alpha women to look into men's eye for 5 seconds and smile. And in order to track an alpha man, they're going to start speaking, interviewing you if you're suitable. If you're available, suitable, and you're interested in going on a date. And so being an alpha woman is very, very confusing, because in today's society, we want equal pay, equal quality, everything is equal, and we are the strong, and we want to be told in a certain way that feels more masculine. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you, as a female who is a very alpha woman, that means a masculine woman. And if you don't want to attract a feminine guy, then don't speak first. And all you have to do is smile and just listen, actively listening, passive and patient and vulnerable.
Great. Now, what if you are a little bit both? Let's say you do, you are a little softer, you do not come on so strong, but you do have a strong personality. So, and I'm kind of describing myself because in my dating world, I am a little bit, I don't really approach a guy. I don't really believe in doing that or anything like that. But I am, I'm a businesswoman. I mean, I get things done. I'm active. I'm on the go. And so I guess I have the alpha trait somewhat. So how do you tame that down and create a good balance for yourself?
Yes. So that's a very good question. And I feel that that question comes up a lot. It's like, I am an alpha woman. How do I pull back? So I kind of teach fake beta. So,
Fake beta.
yeah,
Okay.
I call it fake beta. So I teach women how to be bimbo. And, and what bimbo means is just you pull back. So that means mothering yourself first, loving yourself first. That means not chasing the guy, make him more curious of what interesting that you might be doing or hiding. It's not like you're hiding anything bad, but it's more being you taking care of yourself. And that's initiating like taking care of yourself in the sense of going out with your friends, doing things like that, or doing hobbies and things like that. That's how you pull out your energy. I tell women when they come home to their man, take off their business coats, or AKA, that's my code, take off your balls.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of rude coming home with your balls on and start dictating and being that executive and telling them what to do and how to do it. It doesn't work that way. So you can always, there's a certain energy that you can do. So that means you can take a bath, go to the gym, do things, take care of yourself first before coming home. So that's one way of doing hobbies. Whatever is more feminine is feeling based. So I call it feeling based.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're going to be doing before you're going out on dates. So that means that you learn how to be passive and patient afterwards.
Wow, that's great advice. That's absolutely great advice. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, let's talk about the other side of the coin, the ones that are not alpha. How can they beat themselves up and get a little bit more alpha and draw in that guy that they're looking for? So we'll be right back. We are talking with Sindy King, and she is the sexy scientist, and we'll be right back. This is Cece with Going Solo. You are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. Okay, welcome back to the show. We wanted to maybe take a little break there for our sponsors, but we are on the video also. And if you are tuning in video, we do not have a sponsor in the middle, so you haven't missed anything at all. But if we are listening to audio, we do plug in our sponsorship there. So welcome back, Sindy, and it's so great to have you. This is Sindy V. King. She is the sexy scientist, and we're talking about the alpha female. So let's go on the other side of it. Let's talk about maybe a lady is not quite so alpha, and she's finding that when she's dating, she's kind of getting a little bit walked on or not noticed or that kind of thing. How do we beef ourselves up a little bit?
That's very interesting that you says that. I'm having so much fun talking to you about this. So I find that a woman gets a little intimidated if they don't get approached by men. And I think men actually fall in love with their eyes. So I tell them to go buy nice wardrobe and nice lipsticks and get your hair done and get your makeup done professionally and go out and just smile. And I think that makes a big difference. Honestly, if someone who's never have done it before, it could be very scary for the first time. Just going out, not so much you don't have to go out in the bar. It could be a bookstore, but you look presentable. And I think first impression makes a huge difference. Like I said, men fall in love with their eyes first. So you got to be very attractive for him to be like, oh my gosh, he's so attractive. I got to go and see what's going on that side of the bookstore.
Oh, that's great advice. I also think that when you do that, when you go out and you get a new outfit or you get your hair done and things like that, you just feel better. And when you feel better, that just comes across, doesn't it?
It does, and it makes a huge difference. And women do fall in love with their ears. So she's looking for the good deals. If he's suitable, if he's financially happy, financially stable, and he got it all together. So that's really the biggest takeaway for someone who never on the other side of the coin. They get it really a lot easier, I would have to say.
That's great. Now, I noticed on your website you had some information about online dating. Can you give women any kind of advice for online dating?
Yes, I do. Profile picture is such a huge thing. You want to get a professional picture because like I was mentioning earlier, first impression steals the deal. and you got to look professional. You got to get your hair done, unfortunately, and makeup and hair, and get a professional photo, because I'm seeing a lot of photos are in the bathroom. And what's your first impression having bathroom photos?
Really, I know when I see them, it's like, okay, next. So
Or wearing sunglasses.
yeah. Well, and also looking wherever you're getting your picture taken, making sure the background is okay. Because so
Yes.
often I've seen pictures where, and of course I'm looking at the guys, but I'll see a guy's picture and you'll see behind him is a total disaster zone. You know, he's in his bedroom and there's stuff all over the bed, or the bed isn't made, and it's just a mess. And you're thinking, I don't really want to pick up his stuff. So move on. So you do want to look at that. Now, what is your advice as far as like how many pictures, and should you have friends' pictures with you? Should you do cleavage pictures? I mean, all of those kind of things.
Yeah. So my first picture would be recommended is a headshot. That should be your first profile that comes up immediately, is a headshot. So it's really up close. There is no cleavage. It's almost like a portfolio picture that you go as an artist or an actor that you show to a producer or a director. Very similar to that. But it could be color, definitely. I want women to wear colors. That is not black and white. We're not doing an interview here. Something that colors pop, right? That represent you. I tend to tell women to have headers or username that matches their colors, their favorite colors. So that stands them out. So first impression is really key. So when he picks that up, he's like, oh, I noticed you wear a lot of red. So he might bring red roses for you.
Oh, okay. That's a great idea. Great idea. What about, the body shot? Should we have a body shot?
Yes, I believe everybody should have a body shot. Definitely, I wouldn't stay away from like bikini shot. You don't want to give the dessert away first. So one course meal at a time. That's really key. So body shot is really important, and that could be an activity, but still they can see you. It's your face. It's not like, you're doing catfish, anything like that. So it could be you riding on a horse, horseback riding, or it could be biking, things like that. Body shots are fine. I know that the question that you had earlier regarding about should you be solo, and I say yes, because you're not actually, the package doesn't come in threes or two, it actually comes in one.
Okay, that's good advice. And I also think children, don't take a picture with your child. My opinion, I just don't think you should do that, because you don't want to introduce your child into the relationship until you're ready to do that. So
Yeah.
I think that's important. And there's also people out there that go on these sites and they look for their kids. So you want to keep that separate before you move forward with your children. And then what about how many pictures? I mean, is there like too many? I have seen sites where the guys will post picture after picture of every fish they've caught. And so how many pictures should you really have on the site?
So my odd number is 5, and 5 is always great. It's throughout everything that I have learned throughout my process, even like culinary art school, they go odd numbers. 5, it should be the maximum, but minimum, it should be 3.
Okay, that's great advice. Now, what about writing the profile? I noticed that you also have a course or something online where you help women write their profile. So any tips that you can give us for profile writing?
Yes, I do. So the biggest tip that I can give away, all pictures got to match the profile. So whatever written paragraph that you have, the pictures got to match to it. It's almost like a catalog. When you open a catalog, the pictures got to match the description.
Okay, that's good advice. That's good. And then you do give this course, so someone could, or do you help them write their profiles?
Yeah, so I actually help a lot of executive women or as well men. It's not only men and women as well. So what I do is I actually help them set up the profile. We do a template and we create a theme and we sit them down. And I actually have a team that actually helps them to do that as well.
Oh, that's great. That's absolutely great. So how can we get a hold of you if we want to be able to go a little bit further into, getting our online profile ready and all of that?
Yeah, so what you have to do is go ahead. If you go to my website, it's Cindy with an S, Indy and V, and then king.com. You can contact me there and can help you sign up from there. And then you'll be probably speaking to me, and we'll set up an arrangement of time. And then we'll see what's best suited for you at that time being. If that's something you want my team to be fully involved, or it could be partially. So I kind of have two aspects of it as well.
Oh,
But you'll be speaking to me.
that's absolutely great. So any other advice that you would like to give us today?
Yeah. So if you're actually single and not ready to date and going out there, and you don't want to go only online, you can also date in real life too. So all you have to do is turn off your phone, number one. And number two, go to places that you like to go to and have fun, because that's where you actually have a mutual connection. And third off, try to make eye contact with people and then speaking to them.
Oh, great advice. Absolutely great advice. Well, I so appreciate you being on the show today. And I want everyone to be able to definitely go to your website, because you do have a lot more information. I don't want to cover it all today because we want to leave something for next time. And I hope that you will join us next time, Cindy. But her website is Sindy, and it's SINDY King, KING.com. So you can go to her website. She has a wealth of information there. You're a lot of fun. You are a great guest, and I thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me on your show. I totally had so much fun speaking to you today.
It's great. And I hope that we can work together on helping some of the singles really make their match. And it would be nice to be able to do that. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay, this is Cece with Going Solo, and you are listening to WGSN Going Solo Network. It is so great to have you all with us, and I can't wait to see you next time. So bye for now. Make sure you tune back in and get all of this great dating advice so that you can move forward in your life.